Hello and welcome to Transformation Gospel TV with Brother Chris. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. We don't know what kind of time people is having, but we can pray for you. We can pray for you. Alright? Thanks for watching these videos. I want to keep on making these videos to bless someone. It might be a bad season for you where you are right now. Things may not be going according to how you planned it to go. But things will turn around. Nothing lasts forever. So keep your head up. Yeah? Good. You know what I'm going to talk about? You didn't tell us, Brother Chris. You want to tell you? Okay. This one's about men. This is about men. Yes, men. Are you a man? It's for you then. Boys, men need to hear this. Yeah. It's not easy being a man. It's not easy being a man. There's a lot of pressure on us being a man. Sometimes a woman will say, you need to step up and be a man. Be a man. When sometimes the man don't even know what a man is. It's not necessarily the things you do, that makes you a man, like providing for the home, providing for the family. To be honest, I think a boy could do the same thing. Doesn't mean he's a man. Doesn't mean he's a man at all. Some boys are forced to grow up and become man overnight. But they don't know how to be a man. They make you think men aren't supposed to cry. And if you do cry, they make you feel feminine. Because men ain't supposed to cry, right? But I think real men do cry. What I admire about ladies, they cry. They don't hold back, they don't hold it in. Even if I have to cry 10 times a day, they will cry. What men do is, we find a sport, we let out our frustration. But it doesn't mean we dealt with our emotions. You could go punch a punch bag all day, play rugby all day, eating a high armor and a tire all day. Whatever sports that float your boat. You go do gun shooting on a shooting range or whatever. It's only helping you to get out that frustration, just to deal with it for that time. But nothing beats a good cry. Men, if you want to cry, cry. Because as men, we carry around so many burdens with us, so many pressure. And we feel like we can't talk about it, especially to women, because we're afraid they might look at us as weak. Sometimes, even as men, we don't even like chatting to other men about how we're feeling, because it's feminine. And we're afraid they might judge us and start calling us names. When those same guys feel the same way. broken inside, as emotional as a woman. Just as emotional as a woman. You want to cry just like a woman do. But you feel like you shouldn't cry. Because sometimes, when you're growing up, your dad or your parents will said, they'll beat you or hit you and tell you not to cry. So you think it's normal not to cry. That's not normal not to cry. There's no way someone should beat you and tell you not to cry. This is why there's a lot of angry boys out there. Because they weren't taught how to deal with their emotions. So instead of crying it out, they're letting it out violently, rude, because they weren't taught how to deal with their emotion. They was told not to cry when they get hit. They was told to be tough. But you see, tears is a language that God understands. It releases so much when you cry. It makes you feel so much better. I cry once a month. Because when you feel pain in your heart and you feel emotional, you can't be tough. You can be tough around other people. But why shouldn't you cry when you're by yourself if you can't cry when you're in front of people? Those voices in your head telling you, don't cry, be tough, you're a man. Men are not supposed to cry. That's a lie, people. Man, if you want to be better, if you want to feel better within, you need to learn how to start crying and dealing with your emotion. Because real men do cry. Real men do cry. Because we go through problems just like anybody else. We can learn from women that will have a problem and they'll cry. No matter how strong that woman is mentally, she will cry. Men, I hope you never raise your kids that if you ever lay your hand on your children, you tell them not to cry. If they drop and hurt themselves, don't tell them not to cry. It's all right for them to cry. It means they're feeling hurt inside. It means that it representing what they feel inside. You should never tell someone not to cry because they will grow up believing that, and then a man feel like, I'm a man, I shouldn't cry. No, a real man cry because it expresses what you are feeling inside. And if people don't want to accept you for crying and they don't want to be around you because they think you're weak or you're feminine, don't be around them. Yeah, because when their toughness drives them to another path, you understand, they'll realize, it would have been much better to cry than to hit someone or hurt someone. It's much better to cry. Real men cry. Do you know cry represents change? Because every time you shed tears, a change is about to happen. Jesus cried? Jesus cried in the garden, and he cried on the cross. So why shouldn't we cry? I used to be afraid to cry. Until one day I broke down in front of my ex a couple of times, crying out real loud. She was trying to hug me. I said, leave me alone. Because I felt shame and embarrassed to cry in front of her. But now, I don't mind. I don't mind crying. And I don't mind crying to a woman. Especially if I love her. Boys, it's okay to cry. It beats lashing out on people. It's okay to cry. Crying is good for you. Crying means you're in touch with your emotions. Crying means you're a man. Crying means you're ready to change. This is Brother Chris for Transformation Gospel TV. Stay blessed. God loves you. Give it all to Jesus. Go cry to Jesus. Go cry to God. They're waiting for you. The Lord said he's next to the brokenhearted. Cry and give it to him. Amen. Have a blessed night, day, morning, evening, whatever the case may be.